sunlight, can
No, that's not how photography works, sweetie. Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. If today is your first time visiting with us, I want to extend to you a very warm welcome and invite you to view any of our over 400 videos that we have arranged for your convenience in playlists, as we are very confident you're going to find something both enjoyable and educational. If you've been here before but you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do subscribe. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. So today we're going to build those nice Christmas decorations for virtually no cost with materials that you should have on your shop or house, or with things that we purchase from the dollar store to complement them. So there are two elements, some piece of scrap wood, and we made 3 of those slightly different, a ribbon which many of you might have remnants of from years past, a Merry Christmas, what is that, not a sign, but decoration, and some holly ivy, blueberry, not holly ivy,
Holly berries.
holly berry, holly ivy berry.
Red stuff.
Right, red stuff. So stick around and we're going to show you how for very little to no cost you can decorate your home with scraps from your shop or from things that you can just find around the house. So we start by selecting 3 pieces of wood that we happen to have laying around, that is remnants from other projects we did. And then we are going to start by distressing it, because the wood that we happen to have is actually rather smooth. So we're going to go outside and distress it, so follow us along. So our boards are very smooth to start with, and for our project we want them a little roughed up. So here's how they end up after our process. And as you can see, there is a substantial amount of roughness now on the boards. And we'll show you a little bit on how we did that.
We just got a patch of concrete here. Serves as a nice hard surface, and taking some of this kind of gravel and spread it around the concrete, and then we just put our board right on top. And we want to go with the grain so it looks like a roughness that's been with the board for a while.
And this, folks, is called creative woodworking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but it does get the effect that we're after, so we are pleased with that, and we're going to process our boards. Now, if you have to buy boards for these, you can buy boards that are already rough, you know, like rough lumber. We wanted to keep the cost of this project very low, so we're using whatever boards we have, and we happen to have smooth boards. The opposite of Mrs. Garage Woodworker, she usually wants to sand everything to perfection, and now she finds herself having to go the opposite, roughing things, right?
Roughing it.
Yeah. All right. So this is our very primitive, is that the right word, process?
Rustic.
But you can see the result is very much what we wanted it to be. So we'll move on to the next steps. So our new supply store is the dollar store, because we don't want to spend any money before we bring our tools up here, right? But we do need to wear gloves to protect ourselves, and these gloves are $1 for how many pairs? 10 pairs.
Yeah, 10.
So
it says 10 pack.
Right. So it's either 5 pairs or 10 pairs. I don't know what they mean by pack, right? So This is definitely cheaper than buying the other gloves, the blue gloves we usually wear. But for painting, I think those are perfect. What do you think, love?
Yep.
So we're going to start with a light stain. Is that the plan?
Yeah. Light stain. Just give it a little bit of contrast.
And this stain actually was one of the Walmart, what there are, overruns?
Clearance.
Clearance was only $2.50 for that can, which will last us quite some while. What?
So there's a nail or two in the end of these boards. I think I'm going to need to take out. Right?
Be careful.
Did I say nail? I meant staple.
Everything is low tech, and it's really funny because we have tools to do exactly this job, but we don't have them with us.
Well, but the tools we have just worked, didn't they?
And again, we don't have a shop, so we're doing this in our living room. And in order to protect our floors, we just put down another dollar store purchase. We're becoming dollar store aficionados.
Well, I mean, why pay more?
I mean, all this auxiliary stuff, we wouldn't have to buy any of that in our shop, right? So
So what do you do with what we find?
and what I mean is I'm not going to calculate them as part of the cost of this project because we only have to buy those for our purposes, and even though we bought them, they are nothing expensive.
Right.
Hence the dollar store purchase.
Plus, we use a lot of what we can find around, you know, outside in nature. We use a lot of things that don't cost anything.
You mean using concrete as a sanding stone?
Yeah.
So we'll start with a coat of stain. This is not going to be our final look though, or it could be for at least one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course the positive of that is that if you don't like it, you can go and distress it and some more on the concrete. One face, the face that we rough up, and the sides, but there is no need for this project to do the back because it will never be seen when it is on display. And both for speed for our project and also for conserving material, the paint and stain, there is really no reason for us to do that. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are done staining the three pieces we're going to use, and we're going to give it a little bit of time to dry. How long do you think it will take to dry?
A few minutes. The fan on, it's mostly dry.
So as soon as it is at least dry to the touch, we are going to commence the next process, and that is using the colors we bought. Did we buy the colors at the dollar store too?
Yep, sure did.
So these are not our normal colors, but we hope they will work. Again, we're doing this as you're watching it, so we have not tried it before. Everything you see is our first attempt. So fail or succeed, we are going to do it together. Yes?
That's optimistic.
Succeed or fail is better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With optimism intact, we forge on.
A few minutes later.
That was loud.
Yeah, it was.
We need to make a hole.
Let me see. No, just remove the foil.
So we have an old box here, and we're going to use it as our palette.
All about recycling things, right?
Wow, that was a lot of thing that came out in your hand.
Yeah, it was.
Miss Elpida, could you bring a little paper towel?
Yeah.
Is this the one we wanted to be white?
Choose whichever you want.
What do you think? Which one are we going to make red?
I don't think it makes that
I
much
think
difference.
the big one should be the plain, and then one of these two red. Do the medium size as red. That's my thoughts. Here, let me help her.
And Miss Woodworker is taking the paint off her glove.
Well, that makes a good palette too. Why not?
And here we go, folks. Let the games begin.
Nice.
So the idea is what? Not to be very,
Dry brush.
yeah, it is very light. We don't expect to use a lot of paint.
Right, and you're still supposed to see that darker undercolor with the stain
Right.
showing through. I think that's coming out nicely.
So tell our viewers, honey, are you putting a lot of pressure?
No.
Describe the technique here.
I am putting pressure once I get it spread out a little bit, just so that it's spread evenly.
Actually, it looks a little better, a lot better in person than it looks, at least in my viewfinder in the camera. It looks much redder on the camera for some reason, or it is much more muted in person, right? Of course, you cannot see the camera part.
And it's
But
supposed to be a subtle red, right? A
Right.
country, very worn red.
right. And of course, here you can do more coats. The more coats you do, the darker it will get, right?
Right.
Okay. So we're going to do the other small one in white, and we're going to leave the big one in the natural color, and we're going to come back and show you the next steps. From the dollar store we bought 3 rows of what is this called?
Wire ribbon.
Wire ribbon.
Because
It has wire.
on the edge. So
Okay.
you can shape it.
That it is holiday themed, and we're going to use 1 per board, right? And again, the dollar store came to the rescue, as I said. Most everything but the wood that we actually had already was just scraps from other projects. Everything else came from the dollar store.
Yeah.
Okay. And you see almost immediately when the ribbon goes on how it takes a different vibe. Is that the right term?
Feeling,
Yeah, vibe.
appearance.
So the both should meet in the middle. Is that the plan?
The ribbon will meet in the middle.
I could not do that.
Here.
So the idea is that we're going to try to mimic a gift box, right?
Package. And the wire ribbon makes it easier because even if you feel like you're not doing a great bow, once you get it tied, then you get to take that wire and help it form into what you want it to look like. So I never usually worry about forming it until I'm done with the bow, tying it, and then you can adjust.
And where do you cut it, or do you cut it?
Well, you can cut it if you decide that your tails are too long, but definitely wait until you're done adjusting to do that. You could even put another tie in there if you wanted to make it more full. And that'll be easier to do with this smaller board. Go ahead and do it. You want to try another tie?
Well, I'm not sure. They're not even,
Oh,
so I was
okay.
just thinking if we could.
Loop it.
Alright folks, we'll experiment a little more and we'll be right with you with the next board. So these are our 3 finished decorations, and you can let your imagination go here, but they are really fitting for any decor, and we are very happy with the way they turned out. Don't you agree?
Yeah, they're a great addition to our fireplace.
And they can even burn.
We don't want them to burn though.
No. But you know, if push comes to shove, they can be firewood, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now this is a project, the Merry Christmas writing, we used the tacky glue. What is it called? I forgot.
It's a craft glue.
Adhesive spray. Multi-purpose adhesive spray.
A multi-pass, a multi-adhesive spray.
Yeah.
We use a multi-adhesive spray. Probably hot glue will also work nice for this. And you could, and we experiment, but we just didn't go for it. You could even attach them to the front of the bow, right?
Yep.
So here you let your imagination go.
Run wild.
Right, run wild. Go for it with it. Go for it. Just go. But overall, this is a fairly fast project, even though it has paint. If we didn't have to film, what do you think, an hour? How long?
Oh, probably less, yeah.
Okay, so this is an under 1 hour project, and the cost, even with us purchasing the equipment, is clearly around $5 or less.
Yep.
The Merry Christmas writing was $5 for $1 in the dollar store. Most everything we bought was from the dollar store or wood we had. So for $5 you can have everything you need. You know, the ribbon, one ribbon package is $1 from the dollar store. So the ribbon was the most expensive thing for $3, right? Mm-hmm. And then the holly berry, we bought a little pack and it had 4 strands. Huh?
Sprigs.
I don't know what that is.
They're called sprigs.
Okay. So this was also $1. As you can see, we did not spend a lot, and we see them in craft stores for substantially more. And I think not as nice, right? Mm-hmm. I don't remember the prices, but definitely more than $5 for one.
Right.
And of course, you can scale this and make as many as you want, and you can make them bigger and you can make them smaller. I think it lends itself to a lot of different decorations.
Yep.
Okay. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. And if you did, a thumbs up will be appreciated. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Share, like, subscribe, and let us know what else you would like to see in our channels. From the Garage Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, and Elpida, want to wish you a very happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and the best wishes for a happy and prosperous New Year. Farewell, my friends. We'll see you soon.